It is. We waited for so long to see this. We were heartbroken to see the results from Milton. And so here we are. I mean, right in the shadow of it. How cool is that? And it just was at right at the end when my book was ready to be published, Milton came. So I had to add another chapter to it. But the book is There's No Place Like Dome. And the perspective I took was, what's it like to be in the stands with the fans? Lots of books about on the field and players, and they're wonderful. But what's it like to be in the stands with the fans, as well as to celebrate what you call the gray old lady?
The old gray lady. And how prescient. And I had to ask you that because I'm like, could you have timed it better that you wrote what I think is an incredible book and none of the stories, the little things that happen in the stands, only from a fan host standpoint, but you wrote it, you titled it No Place Like Dome, and then Milton has the damage to the dome. And now the rallying cry getting back here for today's opener against the Cubs here back at home is we've got that dome back. That was quite prescient. All along, did you feel that was just dumb luck or just it was the title it had to be all along?
What, honestly, I started as a fan host in '08 when that was the World Series year. And I told Joe Madden I took full credit for that because of all that went on. And through that year, my wife and I were fan hosts. And at the end of the year, we did one of those photo books, Snapfish or whatever the thing was. We had all these pictures of all the events that went through in '08. But the very last page of the book in '08 or '09 when it got published, I wrote, There's No Place Like Dome. And here it is, that many years later, it came to me as a title of the book. And there is no place like Dome. When you consider Tropicana Field, who's not only hosted the World Series and the Final Four and Stanley Cup playoffs and Davis Cup tennis and the NBA with Michael Jordan, and then you go with all the concerts from Billy Joel to AC/DC and everybody in between. And then one of the real quirks was in 2012, when the Republican National Convention was in Tampa, they held a big gala here at Tropicana Field. So it added that, and for a while, it was the host of the governor's baseball dinner to start baseball. So Tropicana Field is unlike any other venue, I think, in the stadium. So she deserves her due. She has stood tall through all the criticism. Need we say, she's kept her cool.
She's kept her cool.
72 degrees cool.
That's it.
72 and sunny every single day. Bruce, let me ask you this. Like, I used to be a bat boy for the Rays, obviously. I've known, like, the fan interaction, everything like that. I know a great amount of season ticket holders. Who has stood out for you? Like, do you have any great fan stories or any, like, families that you know that really stand out?
The stories that stick out to me are the human interest stories. We had a situation, as you know, on Sundays, one of the best things we do, it's Family Day. And we had kids run the bases. For a long time, they used to come down one of the sections down the steps. There's a lot of steps. My role was to be right on the field and to help parents go to home plate and kids go to the field. And anytime there was a gap, I could see on my peripheral vision, I would purposely smile and look up to make sure it wasn't a grandparent struggling or somebody with a stroller. I looked up at halfway up, and here was a mother and father and probably their 12-year-old son who was visually impaired. And he's taking his cane and going down every step. When he put that cane on the field and he knew where he was, he lit up like a Christmas tree. Wow. And then he proceeded on his own to go toward first base. His parents went home, and he went to first base, and he put his cane on first base. And then he went towards second. By the time he got to second, I made sure there was nobody in his way. I didn't want anything to happen. As he made the turn to second to go around short, everybody knew what was happening. And everybody cheered and applauded. And by the time he rounded third and came home, it was a day he will never forget. It's a day I've never forgotten either. That's the good stuff. That's the things that happen that unless you're there or unless you're in that part of the stadium, you don't know what took place. Hence the reason of the book.
Absolutely. So
That's awesome. That's a great story.
The book is There's No Place Like Dome. Bruce Reynolds, you just heard.
Right, and we try to keep it local. We went to St. Pete Press to have it published. Try to keep it all the way local story, local guy, local publisher. You can find it on, check the website. There is no place like dome.com. You can find some stuff on Facebook, but more importantly, just read the book. And it's a fun book.
It's a great book, but I got to ask you a question.
Sure.
So working in fan photography, working in a stadium like you had, we had a little bit more of a different way we looked at her. The rings. You know, we always heard complaining about the balls hitting the rings or this and that. I fell in love with that thing toward the end there, and we know it's going to come to an end someday. Their forever home is going to be somewhere. But when that storm, when I was down here the morning after Milton, and we saw the tatters and the wind going, we didn't even know then if it was going to come back. Having just finished that book, There's No Place Like Dome, over the last year as we've gotten the stadium fixed, have you heard more endearing stories about our dome, or has it still been the old, we hate that thing, let's go?
Usually the people that hate it have never been there.
Right.
I can't tell you the number of people, visiting team fans, who come in and look around and go, what's wrong with this place? And I said, exactly. No, I think it's much more endearing. I think, one, people miss air conditioning, but the fact that it's got a special place in the skyline of this city. It has a special place in this part of town. So regardless of, it's almost like it doesn't make any difference who won, but it's just the memory. It's how I felt. And that's kind of my goal as a fan host. How can I enhance what you're doing at the stadium to make it memorable that you come back, regardless who won or lost?
I'm pretty sure you just nailed the reason why this is America's national pastime. We love football and hockey and curling and things that get crazy, but baseball is between the innings that people complain about. Oh, it's a long game. It's the time when you meet your neighbor. You see a kid running the bases and he inspires
it's cerebral,
you.
and it's social.
Cerebral.
Absolutely. It definitely is that. And one of the good things about sports, and we can talk about all the bad things about sports, but one of the good things about sports is it builds community. How often, when we talk about the team, it's we. It's not them. Maybe it's them when they lost, but we hit, we scored. That's what baseball. And you could come in opposite ends of a row, fist bump somebody throughout this week. Throughout the game, and then leave out the different part and never see each other again. But for those hours, your family.
So, Bruce, I want to say one quick thing before I'll go to you, Joe. It's really amazing that you've worked with the Rays for so long doing the fan host thing, and you're so passionate about St. Pete baseball and the Tampa Bay Rays and themselves, but you genuinely care about the fans.
Absolutely.
That's amazing. I mean, because you could get jaded in that time, but you're still very passionate.
Well,
you're here right now.
One of my goals
going to the game.
One of my goals is to make sure that I focus as well on the Rays fans as well as visiting team fans. I want them to feel welcome. I want them to feel comfortable. You're a baseball fan. You enjoy it. Quick story about Yankee fans before everybody jumps negative. One of my favorite things about Yankee fans is that the Yankee organization, I respect as a baseball fan, the only team that doesn't put names on the back of their jerseys. They were one of the first teams to put numbers on their jerseys, and the number corresponded to what you batted in your batting order. So Ruth was 3 because he batted third, Garrett 4, and so forth. It just drives me crazy when I find Yankee fans come to the Trop and either a T-shirt or a jersey and it says 7 Mantle. We all know who 7 is. We all know that 8 is Berra. I don't need that.
Who's 99?
Yeah, and then you get into a discussion with a Yankee fan who doesn't have a name on the back, and you've bonded. I've had fathers say, son, come over here, listen to this guy, listen to what he's saying, because that's the beauty of the game. And so you hope that you have created that experience that's memorable for the fans, and so they enjoyed their time. For a lot of people, they can only afford 1 or 2 games a year. It's an escape, so why not enjoy it? And that's kind of my goal.
And with all due respect, Rays fans, we need names on the back of the jerseys because they don't stick around too long.
Absolutely.
We don't always know the names.
And usually they're on with Velcro.
Ouch. Go ahead, Nick. Joe.
Yeah. Well, good afternoon. Baseball greetings. Joe Bordeaux here with the opening day broadcast. This is Lunchtime Conversations on Radio St. Pete. We're pleased that Sunshine 96.7 FM is joining the Sports Connection Radio Network for an extended broadcast this afternoon. We'll be on the air almost till the first pitch, till 4 o'clock this afternoon. First pitch is at 4:10. The gates open at the Trop at 2:10. This is a very hot ticket today, perhaps the hottest since March 31st, 1998, the very first game. But the Rays are asking that if you have a ticket to be in your seats at 3:30 this afternoon for the opening ceremony. We have a very special national anthem singer we'll talk about a bit later. It's going to be a big, big day at Tropicana Field. So again, we're preempting all of our regular programming on Radio St. Pete right up until 4 o'clock this afternoon. We're just talking baseball because it is opening day for the Tampa Bay Rays at Tropicana Field.
And Bruce, I know we got to let you go because I know you've got a master's answer
He's
over there.
He's got to clock in.
Yeah, he's got to make sure the fans are staying happy.
Yeah, I got to get paid.
So, yeah, you got to get paid. Before you get out of here, give us your best Tropicana Field memory. Maybe not working. Your best Tropicana Field memory as we're getting ready to go back to her today.
Well, I was here for the Final Four in '99. That was kind of cool. even though I was sitting above the catwalks. You know, I mean, that was kind of crazy. That's how high I was in the third level. I've also been in the catwalks. I have a guy that I know that was a season ticket holder in my section. He was the kind of the manager, superintendent of the roof being installed the first time. And so periodically he had to go up and get balls that stayed in the catwalk. Wow. Said to me, if you ever want to go up, let me know. And I said, I'm there. When am I going to get this chance?
You know what? I'm going to say, it takes some balls to get me to go up top of that stadium.
No pun intended?
No pun intended. I'm kidding. But go ahead. You got any more questions for him, Nick?
No, honestly, Bruce,
Bruce,
I honestly just want to say thank you. Like, you know, as
Sure.
a Rays employee, you've probably seen me. I was a bat boy, ball boy from 2012 to 2017. You've been at my games. I've never seen you. I've never met you until today. But I really do appreciate your love and passion for the Tampa Bay Rays.
It's a great
that you
sport.
continue to do it.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for what you guys do to the community, for Radio St. Pete. It's a local thing, and we should take pride in being local.
Today we
Bruce,
celebrate.
can I ask you one quick question? Where
Sure,
can
bud.
we find There's No Place Like Dome?
You can find it, if you want to go local, you can buy it at Tombolo. You can buy it at Wilson's. You can even buy it at the Museum of History.
Okay.
They've carried it. And can't buy it, but I'm proud to say that it is in the library collection in Cooperstown of the Baseball Hall of Fame.
And also, we're trying to get the Rays to go ahead and put a copy of it over in the store there where
Yeah,
it should be. Maybe
that'd
that
be
is
nice.
curveball to cross
We'll-
road.
Yep,
We'll
I've
get-
actually talked to the
we'll
Rays
make
about
that
maybe
happen.
doing a book fair this year.
Well,
I
that'd
just
be great.
emailed them the other day.
That'd be great.
We're gonna make that
And my
happen.
feeling about having the library collection at the Hall of Fame, I think it's a great honor, but I'm wondering if that means it's like the last scene from Raiders of the Lost Ark. And it's in this warehouse
But you
with
know
the
what, though?
casino book, but it's still there. It's still
When
in
somebody wants to
Cooperstown.
research the Trop and they go to the Hall of Fame, your book is going to be one they pull out
Absolutely.
for history forever now.
That's it. That's good.
Which again, there is no place like Dome. It's a reflection of the type of we're fans. We're Tampa Bay fans. That's our Dome. She's back. We're ready today.
That's
There's
it.
no place like Dome. Bruce Reynolds, thank you so much
Thank
for joining
you,
us today,
guys.
my
Thanks
friend.
for all
Thank
you
you
do.
very much, Bruce. Appreciate
Thank
you.
you.
Bruce Reynolds, fan host extraordinaire and Tampa Bay Rays. Honestly, a legend. I would say
also,
legend.
He left 2 copies of the book here signed. We're going to wait till the crowd gets going a little stronger later on, but we're going to make sure those get into some hands of people who will respect what they're holding. Bruce, have a great day. We'll
Thank
see
you,
you
Bruce.
inside the Tropicana there a little later on.
And honestly, I love
Thank you.
the hard hat too.
Like it. Yes, sir.
It's really great.
Well, you know why?
I don't.
Taking care of business.
Well, you gotta watch out.
Lunchbox and the hard hat coming to work.
Honestly, I mean, I hope it's not because like they got a good roof over there now.
Well, he's got the hard hat because he put the roof back on. It was actually his job. He's double dipping. He's going to get paid for that roof he just put back on.
Joe
Nice.
Bordeaux.
Talking about fan hosts, they are very special. He's not the only loved one. I know my wife and I are hoping Ernie will be back in 104. We saw him last summer a couple of times over in the
Yes,
heat
sir.
at Steinbrenner Field, and he's been with us for probably 2 decades there behind home plate. So he'll be a big piece of the fun this afternoon if he is back with us by the grace of God.
Yes, and it alludes
pretty
me
good.
back to the stories of
Yeah.
in Rick Vaughn's 100 years of baseball on the waterfront,
Yeah.
the singing hot dog vendor, the singing beer
right.
vendors. It's
What about the
downtimes.
Joe Madden replica fan host?
Yep.
That's another one too.
absolutely.
Yes.
You know, you connect with the fan hosts, and I was talking to Bruce for a second. I was a part-time season ticket holder with some folks at work in like the 2008 to 11 era. Same fan host was the person right there in our section. So you see them
Yeah.
every week or every 81 games if you're going to every single game. They become part of your experience.
Right.
I remember when Edwin Jackson threw the no-hitter against us, and this guy Lou, who was 302 or 304 in that area, I forget if it was section 302 or 304. Lou was like, I've been going to ball games since I was a kid in the Bronx and seeing Rizzuto and Mantle, and he was naming some of the great Yankee pitchers of that era. He's like, I've never seen a no-hitter until today.
Wow.
And
it was Edwin Jackson, a
It was
former
Edwin
Ray.
Jackson.
Former Ray.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was like, I'm just proud to share this moment with you because I had never seen a no-hitter either.
Yeah.
And here's this guy who probably has 40 more years of watching baseball history of the greats and the legends and the history that he can talk about. And I was like, I shared a very unique moment with him at that moment.
That's nice. And then, hey, trivia question. You cannot answer this, Michael, because you are an encyclopedia. Joe probably knows anyway. There's only been one other no-hitter thrown in the history of the stadium there.
I was at that one too.
Were we talking about Matt Garza?
Matt
Yeah.
Garza.
Yeah,
There you go,
yeah,
right?
Good.
It was about a month and a half later.
Same year, yeah. Which again, that's in '08. So I think that there's some maybe Bruce is responsible.
And
for
I
some
was
of
on
that
a
too.
business trip. I saw it at Atlanta Airport in the sports bar.
It was also on a Friday.
I missed the game.
I
You
went
know,
to every Friday
I actually
game.
I do have a funny no hitter type of story because like when I was bat boying and working in the clubhouse, I had like things I wanted to do. I wanted to go to a World Series. We did that. That was cool. But I never saw a no hitter. We had a 4-game set against Cleveland when they were like hot with their pitching. They almost threw 3 no hitters. I think 2 outs in the 9th inning. They lost it. And I was like so excited just to see a no-hitter. I don't want the Rays to lose, but I was like, I want to see it. I want to be a part of it. I've never seen a no-hitter in person.
I've never watched one on TV.
No.
Outside of, like, hey, we're going to tune in the 9th inning and we're going to show this guy's 9th inning or whatever. But I've never watched a no-hitter from start to finish on TV.
Well, see, Michael, you're at a disadvantage here. You're obviously younger than I am, but Joe's going to follow me on this because Joe and I, we're the long in the tooth guys on this panel here. Used to be, still should be, and that you break in. Anytime there's a no-hitter past the
Always.
7th, right, or
Always.
getting ready. Even now, but nowadays, where would you break in on? On the StreamYard ESPN, on the local ESPN, on the podcast ESPN?
MLB Network streams in, jumps in.
Well,
on
you
whenever
hope they
somebody-
do, but I mean, can we be
think so.
sure? Can we?
I
If
think so.
Otani's got a no-hitter going to the bottom of 9th and he's got 4 home runs, do you think
Oh, if
every network's
Otani
gonna
does it,
break
it's
in?
national. Like ABC News, CNN will break in.
The other issue now is pitch count,
Yes.
where so many times you're going to say he's got a no-hitter going. It's the 6th inning, and you know
Yes.
he's never going to make it to the end. So
Which only makes Rays fans just all the more know we're never going to get another no-hitter unless it's like 73 pitchers and we started with 6 openers in the first, but
Right.
Well, what
somehow
was,
we got there.
Sandy Alcantara for the Marlins pitched a complete game on 90 pitches last week.
Yes.
It's possible if you are that on top of your game and you're hitting your spots and you're getting them to hit the ball weekly, you can get into the 9th inning on less than 100 pitches. It's
Well,
still possible.
Think about like Armando Galarraga for the Detroit Tigers, near perfect game.
Right.
That was the quickest game in the world. It was like an
Yeah.
hour and 45 minutes, but he was well under 100 pitches. You can do it. It's
Yeah.
very doable. You just have to be efficient with your pitching.
Nope.
Which, honestly, not to bring it up, but my buddy is pitching for the Cubs today, Jameson Taillon. Hopefully he's
So let's
efficient
talk
with his
about
pitches
this. How's
today.
your buddy here? You got some behind-the-scenes information?
No,
for
I
us?
don't have any info. I actually texted him yesterday. I was like, "Hey, are you working tomorrow?" And he's like, "I am actually." And
That's cool.
I was like, "That's amazing. You're going to be working, like pitching the first game back at the Trop under the new roof."
Does he understand the significance?
He does because I told him. I might have had a few beers when I told him.
So what'd you tell him? Tell him go out and get rocked.
I asked if he wanted like a
Beers.
piece of old Trop roof to like carry with him in his pocket.
Yes.
Speaking of, and that's something I didn't ask Bruce about. I did the book fair.
By the way, also Michael Orts. Michael's joining us.
Mike Lortz, yeah, Mike,
I
Mike's
mean-
book is Curveball to Crossroads, but I want to keep saying that because it is a fantastic read.
Please
Go
say
ahead.
it a lot.
Thank you. Well, I did a book fair last year in Tarpon Springs, and there's another book fair this April in Tarpon Springs, April 25th in Tarpon Springs, and Bruce was at it as well.
Okay.
He made bookmarks out of pieces of the tarp of
What?
the roof.
Whoa.
Oh, he's raised
And
his game.
I did not have a chance to grab one, and I need to get back with him and grab him and be like, do you have any more of these bookmarks?
Wow.
His bookmarks for his book were shreds of the tarp.
Yeah,
and I was just like, that is the best
I-
marketing
That's really
gimmick.
good.
That's
ever.
solid because I
Yeah.
still have the piece that I got off the ground, but I'm just using and ripping up trying to get girls' phone numbers down here at first.
Yeah,
But I
same,
mean,
same.
that goes a lot further as a bookmark because they'll
Yes.
remember you longer. And I haven't gotten a phone number anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Every baseball book you read, yeah, that should be your bookmark.
100%.
And then you just keep it in his book all the time. Like,
By the way, I got a piece for you, so I'll take care of you on that.
All right, I
It's
appreciate
actually in my car right now, but I'm not going to get it. But yeah, you get that piece.
thank you. I feel like it's like a Berlin Wall brick.
You got to have
know?
it, yeah. I
Like,
mean,
you know.
unlike Stuart Little tried to they're ripping them up and selling them over at Steinbrenner Field by 15. Although the money was for charity, but it was like 5 minutes after the roof got blown off, and I'm like, context. Look at perspective here, a little perspective.
Well, your buddy has to face Shane McClanahan this afternoon, and who went 4 2/3, and that was in Milwaukee, I believe, the middle 3 of the road series. He looked very, very sharp for 4 1/3 after being away for 2 years. So there's still a magic story. This will be his first visit back to Tropicana Field as well, and I expect that Shane will be on his game as well.
Oh, absolutely. I think nobody has been more dedicated to getting back to dominance lately than Shane McClanahan. And, I mean, I always called him auto win. Like, you just knew every 5 days he's going to go out, and if you lost, it was kind of a crazy thing.
Right.
But he has that expectation for himself. And that's what I love. I'm glad he's healthy. I'm glad he's back. I expect big things from him this year.
He's about as local of a pitcher. I mean, granted, like Matt Joyce went to, he's from what high school did Matt Joyce go to? Armwood, I think. So Matt Joyce was local, and we've had other people who were local. But Shane McClanahan went to USF, and then he is as local as we're gonna get. It's just a really cool feeling to see him back on the mound.
And not just that. I mean, because I cover the Bulls, and
Yeah.
and I being on the field, one of the most exciting things, of course, this was under Coach Golash, who's now no longer here, but was that McClanahan, Shane, still has that USF Bull in him, still has that local tie, and it's been a long road because, we got so close to it last year. It was his last warm-up pitch of his last start. Things seem right this year. That bullpen, no, Joe. I mean, Shane can get us to 4 2/3.
Needs a little work.
We got to get that bullpen today, guys. We're back in our place, and like I mentioned earlier, Tropicana Field is a pitcher's ballpark. But also, we've seen a lot of defensive problems with this team so far. Something's got to give today. What do you guys feel like we're going to see today out of this Rays team? First game
I
back.
think a lot of energy. There's going to be a ton of energy from us that I hope the Cubs can't match.
Yeah.
I think everybody's going to be hyped, and I think if we get off to a good start, score a run or two in the first inning, I think we can ride that wave. And then McClanahan gives us 5 or 6, and we're good to go.
That's what it takes.
There's exciting offense on this team, obviously, top of the order. The defense should be good. Who would have ever thought Junior would have 4 errors at this point? I mean, we thought he was fixed and he was going for a Gold Glove, and he may still. But it's been a very rough start. The other thing I think is difficult for any baseball team, but particularly for the Rays, is they had to play in 90-degree weather. They also had to play in 30-degree weather just a few days apart.
Yes.
And that's a completely different game as well. And I think that was a totally new experience for Junior. So, maybe things will begin to settle in. We've got 6 at home against the Cubs and the Yankees this weekend. So we'll hope for the best for the bullpen and for the defensive acuity out there.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what, though. I mean, if you really think about it, the Rays had such a week and a half long road trip to start the season. That's a long time. And they haven't been home because they've been in spring training.
Right.
They haven't been home at all in months. So I think today I love J-Mo. Love you, J-Mo, wherever the camera is. But honestly, the Rays are going to come out with energy because they're home. They're seeing their family. They're seeing their friends for the first time in months. And the Trop is going to be packed.
Yep.
The biggest opening day since 1998, in my opinion.
I'm going to play devil's advocate because just like we saw with the American team in the WBC, you can have murderer's row of 9 batters with 400 batting averages, but sometimes you're a little too tight. And I'm just wondering, we're going to see that out of this Rays team. If Kevin's back, and it was a rough road start, they still showed they've got offensive output. We've got a very young team, but they might feel like the entire weight of the world's upon their shoulders. We're back inside. It's air. Everything's going right. But I just hope they just relax and get down to business because this Cubs team, they're a beatable Cubs team, much beatable, but they also got a pretty good Cubs team. We should see a great game today, and that's probably the most important aspect for me.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's gonna be a lot of fun, and I think there's gonna be as much energy as the World Series. There's just gonna be a vibe in there, and we're gonna obviously pregame ceremonies. Everybody's gonna get their flowers and applause. I'm hoping we credit the right people, and that talk, and that's gonna just get the crowd so hyped up. And I don't think there's a win or go home feeling here. Just
right.
relax and just win.
I guess that's what I was alluding to, and I
Yeah.
shouldn't be, but I was going to ask you, Joe. They talked about, they said, get in your seats by 3:30. Got a great pregame thing going on.
Church, yeah.
I mean, every year, obviously, the opening day game was always big, but you didn't hear. I'm not going to just being like, revisionist history, but I never heard Stu Sternberg say, be there early, we got a surprise for you. They were just like, guess what? The game's at 1. If you get in there when you get in there,
Yeah.
whatever. So, I mean, right from that we start
the
seeing.
fans are not used to it. So,
Right.
they begin to pay attention as the bullpen coach is introduced, and the
Clubhouse guy.
clubhouse guys.
Oh, you got to get one for the batter boy. Yeah.
And by the time the starting lineup is announced, usually they're paying attention. And the St. Petersburg Police Department is going to be the color guard today.
Yes.
And they've got an extra special flag ceremony. So it will be something to see. And if you figured out your Rays TV, you can see it on TV as well.
Or
But,
come to Fergs because we got you covered.
We got you at Fergs on
Yeah.
all the
Yeah,
screens.
I figured out where I am, Spectrum 179.
Well, it's a challenge, if you're not on the standard program. And I've been recommending to my friends, if you haven't bothered to tune in yet, start a little bit before the first pitch, just to make sure that you actually don't get disappointed. It's there. You just have to find it. And TV's got an hour pregame show this afternoon as well.
And we've seen them out
Dwayne and BA.
We
Dwayne
love those guys.
Yeah.
Joe, let me ask you this: how many opening days have you been to as a fan?
All of them.
Really?
So, yeah, I've never missed.
What memories stand out from Rays opening day 1998 to now?
Right, 1998. That's the only one I was not in my section, my seats, because I moved here in '91. I joined the team. I have you've got a sticker, and for $50 you could join the team.
I remember that.
That got you into the lottery for tickets.
They were showing our support for the stadium. we were trying to show
if we ever got a team. So I lived here with no plans to. I lived in Virginia with no plans to live here. I had a connection with my company Valpak here, then, but I went ahead and joined the team.
Nice.
And so by the time the team got here, I was here running the company, and I was in the lottery. And the best seat I could get was up in 305. Yeah, so I saw it from up there, and there's a famous picture of the first pitch being thrown, which was a ball inside.
I've seen
Tigers,
it.
yeah.
Yes.
And my son and I are just cut out of the picture.
Oh.
So we were one row back at 305. Otherwise, we'd have that.
Where were you sitting? Right there.
Yeah, that's right. It was right
I was there. I promise you. I was.
But then we moved down, and so I was there for Wade Boggs' 3,000th hit, there for the World Series. The vibe, talking about the vibe at the series, I've done some minor league baseball play-by-play, and I invited Patrick Keenis, who's the voice of the Durham Bulls, up for the series, and we actually sat there. It's very familiar spot in 104. I know everybody around there. And we saw the commissioner of baseball. And we actually said to each other, wow, that guy looks just like the commissioner of baseball. And then we had the other famous scout, not scout, but agent.
Boris.
And we go, that looks like Boris. And then we go, oh, that is them. This is the World Series.
Right. Okay, that makes sense.
But it didn't even connect that we could be watching the World Series at Tropicana Field in 2008, and that was definitely a highlight. But as far as opening days, probably the downer was Bill Veck's son, Mike Veck, was the vice president of marketing for Vince DeMoli's Tampa Bay Rays for a couple of months.
2000.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we knew it was going to be a short stay because we have the opening day ceremonies, everything goes off, everybody's all excited, and then they light off fireworks.
Oh gosh. Yeah.
And they get stuck up in the dome, and they can't start the
No
game
place to
because
go.
it's too cloudy. And Mike had told his mother that he was taking this job, and she says, you won't last 6 weeks. And he lasted 2 weeks, I think.
God
Which
bless.
was, to me, one of the worst. I feel like that's one of the most worst missed opportunities in especially Devil Rays history, because he was such a brilliant. He still is a brilliant marketer.
Right.
And we did not have good marketing until 2008, until the
Correct.
rebrand.
Correct.
And I mean, granted, he wanted to paint the field purple, but because he said, well, it's just grass. It doesn't matter.
Right.
It's just turf. It doesn't matter.
Ask
what color
Boise
it is.
State if they mind playing on that hideously blue football field.
You know, he
Terrible.
wanted to paint the turf, which is one. It's a
Right.
typical Vec idea,
Yeah.
but just let him run with the ball.
Right.
And they never did. Obviously, he didn't last very long, and I feel like he was one of the biggest missed opportunities in Devil Rays history.
Yeah, and knowing the whole culture of the time, it was so much different. So much different than the Sternberg era. We can go down. I got a million stories, but I read in a magazine, one of the sports magazines, that the St. Louis Cardinals were doing a shirts off your back promotion.
Right.
And I had an arrangement with Muscular Dystrophy Association for Valpak as a national sponsor. And so I went to Mr. Namoli and said, why don't we do a shirts off the back promotion?
Yeah.
So he said, fine. That's great. So it was Valpak and the Muscular Dystrophy Association. This was the last game of the year, inaugural season, 1998. And it was wild. We were selling, it was, talk about cashless, it was all cash.
Yes.
It was $1 bills to buy a chance to win a shirt at the end of the game. And we didn't really have it together. It was just a bunch of high school volunteers and one guy and me back in at Gate 4 where the jail was, you know.
Did you have a garbage
So we're
can?
bringing all the money to the jail. Well, and we start out counting the money, and then we realized, well, what's the point of counting the money? So we'll just throw it into cardboard boxes. And meanwhile, we're watching the TV, and everybody's hitting the first pitch, and the game, it's already in the 6th inning, and we have to go out and, like, seed the thing with winners so that we have winners because we're running out of time.
Yes.
So anyway, people won. We then head on down the right field line, and we end up giving away all but one. And I got it, Dennis Springer's jersey, which I still have. But then I go back to the jail and realize, what are we going to do? We had 33,000 $1 bills in cardboard boxes. And there was a St. Pete cop there, and I go, well, would you mind escorting me to my car, and can you carry one of these boxes? And he said, what's in it? I go, dollar bills. Well, I took it home to my condo. I slept with the money.
They trusted you a lot.
Right, next day, I bring it into the office, and I have my administrative assistant there, Lois, and I go, Lois, somebody left some boxes on the table in the corner. Can you see what that is? And we'll figure out where to send them. And she screams. She says, it's filled with money. And then we take him to the bank, and that was a big hassle because they thought it was drug money.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so anyway, when you see the Shirts Off the Back promotion, which is now an annual thing, very well organized. Just remember, it started that way.
That's awesome.
With Vince DeBoli in 1998.
That's amazing. And so before we move on, I do want to recognize everybody that helps make this this beautiful Tampa St. Pete Sports Connection happen. Coca-Cola Body Armor, Ice Pick Vodka. Oh my God, who else we got, Ray?
Sea Dogs Brewing.
That's right.
Absolutely.
We also have
Yeah.
Body Armor, Coca-Cola.
Yeah.
We have, of course, world famous Ferg Sports Bar and Grill and everything Coach does for us having this annual event out here.
Right.
Who else we got? Nick, I don't know, but
I mean, just so many amazing people. Everybody that listens and subscribes to our YouTube channel, Tampa St. Pete Sports Connection, our Instagram page. Please, please, please keep the support up because we love making this content for you. We love talking sports. And it's honestly, doing this show has gotten me back into the sporting world. And I hadn't watched sports since I left baseball 3 years ago. And now this is like what I'm passionate about. So thank you all for all the fans, everybody who does tune in.
And for our FM listeners that may not have paid attention closely enough, you can hear the Tampa St. Pete Sports Connection on our St. Pete Sounds channel, as well as the Florida Sports Stream channel every Saturday, live from Ferg's, 11 until 1 o'clock. And we're just making an appearance here on FM this afternoon because it is opening day at Tropicana Field, and we're live from Ferg Sports Bar on Central Avenue until 4 o'clock this afternoon.
And I do want to say that Mike Rickard texted me last night. He said Joe Bordeaux, a legend in the game, is coming on to co-host.
Yeah.
And he texted me this last night at 8 o'clock. And I said, okay, sounds amazing. He's like, he's a great human being. So, Joe, thank you very much for being here.
Thank you, Mike Rickard.
yeah, and then Mike said, he said, Nick and Ray, remember, more is less, or less is more. We're like, okay, yes, sir.
Yeah, Nick, don't talk anymore.
I have to give Mike a little bit of credit. And Mike normally calls me like the night before, and
Yeah,
he's
hey,
like,
Mike,
"Hey,
we're getting over here."
can you show up at and be part of the show tomorrow?" I always say yes.
Yeah.
But he called me like 5 days in advance this week, and I was like, "Oh my goodness, of course!" So
I do want sorry to interrupt you. I do want to give a quick shout out to Mike Rickard, who makes this show happen for all of us.
Yeah.
I mean, I met him through Mark Ferguson here at Ferg's, best sports bar in America, as voted down by USA Today.
Yes, sir.
But like Mike, I did one interview, and he's like, "Yeah, no, you're on the show now. This is just what you do on
He sees
Saturdays."
it. It's passion.
But I mean, he genuinely cares about people. He's a great human being, and I love having him around.
And of course, now you're starting to hear the music starting up out here. Let me give everyone who's listening out there on the radio, I'll give you a little visual we have going on here. The east side parking lot at the world famous Ferg's has been shut down. It is no operating today. We've got people from every station out here. We've got food from all over. We've got pizza people set up out on the road. You got the fans are starting to buzz in. There's some Chicago Cubs gear, lots of Rays gear, and of course it's our home opener back here on April 6th. Playing the Cubs today, what, at 4:15, right, Joe?
Yeah, it's perfect. 4:10.
4:10. So
Yeah.
what else about what do we think today? We saw the big scoreboard. Have you got any more insights on what we should be
Well,
expecting today?
they say, those who have seen it, say it's brighter because of the new dome.
Okay.
It's
awesome.
going to appear brighter.
I hope that doesn't
we'll see.
detract from catching balls.
No, exactly. They've been out and they played an exhibition game on Saturday. No one was allowed in, but I think it played. The infield plays well, grass plays well. There's a new seating area down near the field. They've redone the bar out in center field, and there's the new all-inclusive
the maintenance deck.
Right.
That's where I'm looking to go.
Yeah. Right, I remember that as the beach.
The
Remember
beach.
Yes.
It wasn't so hot when it was the beach. Now it's going to be a terrific opportunity for folks who may not be totally focused on the game.
There's a reason why it's called a party deck at one time.
Exactly.
There's a little
Well,
party going
it's
on
weird.
there.
They don't let me sit where I used to sit.
On the field? Well, you don't
Yeah.
work on it anymore, Nick.
I always thought the party deck should be turned into like a kids area.
Right.
I always thought of that as like because kids can get in, but there's only one way in and out.
Right.
So I thought that would be a great spot. Now, granted, what they turned it into is great as well. But I was always like, why don't we make that like a kids zone in there because parents can easily watch their kids and stuff. And that was always my idea. But you know,
that's what the touch tank is for. Let the kids wait in. You can keep
Oh,
an eye
you
on
know.
them. They're getting a
I
little
promise
red.
I promised my friend I would bring this up. All 7 Rays that survived Hurricane Milton were returned to the Rays tank.
Yes.
They're
Thank
all
you.
there now. They are all there now.
Here comes. We got someone coming on right
Uh-oh.
now. Maybe we can get him to
Oh.
come up right on in here.
Goodness
cameo.
gracious.
Orestes Destrada is
There you
in the
go.
house.
Big
He has
O's in the
arrived.
house.
What's up?
Former Florida Marlin. Good to see you, Orestes. Yeah. He's got his baseball in his hand.
That's
And,
actually signed by Boba Fett. Funny
TV
enough.
analyst.
Beautiful is this, man.
And Ray
Welcome
Kennedy
in.
has him.
Orestes Destrada.
Nice.
Or as Mike Ricker says, Arresty.
Mike does give him some grief.
How you doing, brother? Good
What's
to
up,
see you.
guys? How you doing, man? It's so
Great.
great to be here. This is wonderful to see, man.
We'll get you close to the microphone.
After
there you
after all the
There we are.
there you go. Now we got it. Now we're professional. After all the trials and tribulations, to see all the fans out here and to see, I think people need to realize that this is beyond just baseball. This is a community effort, and I think that first and foremost, to reward so many people that help bring this back. And I think the Rays, obviously the new ownership are phenomenal, led by Ken Babby and Mr. Zalewski and everybody, including a very dear friend of mine, Mike Murphy, who I do a lot of work for, who is one of the limited partners with Murphy Auto Group. What they're doing today with the, bringing on several hundred people and kind of acknowledging that, I think that starts right there. And then we get to baseball.
Yeah, which is amazing. Like, I love that St. Pete is rallying around the Rays, and they have, I mean, obviously, I'm a local. We missed baseball. Fergs missed baseball last year.
By all means.
Every business in town missed it, but now we're back.
Yeah.
And I think that's so special. But the Rays, like, saluting the people who make
Correct.
it all happen is amazing. And I love that for them.
I'm glad they're doing that, and there's so many. I just think that this is, as much as the Trop has been dogged over the years, I look at this situation starting today and throughout the next, where it be 3 years or 4 years, wherever they land afterwards. This is kind of a renewing of your vows to the lady, you know what I mean, in the Trop, and you circle back. Those of us that have been married a long time, every now and then you got to renew the vows and appreciate what you have, and I think this is what this is.
Orestes, too, the city, folks we call bureaucrats,
Right, Mike.
had a many, many months of overtime trying to get the deal done for the new stadium at the historic gas plant. That falls apart. And several of those people, including Beth Harrinan, who's worked there for years, worked for Rick Baker, etc., played a key role in the project, as well as several other people at the city. They just decided they were going to get this done when even the Rays didn't think it was possible. So this is pretty cool that they got it done. They got it done on time. They got it done early. So.
Yeah, and tribute to the ownership group. I mean, when you really look at the big picture of things, they've only been in charge for 5 months. So the fact that they have all this heavy lifting to do, including putting a team on the field, but also getting the stadium ready, working hand in hand with the municipalities and the community, and then looking forward for the heavier lift of the Forever Stadium. There's a lot on the plate for them, and I'm very, very appreciative. And I think a lot of the community needs to be appreciative of what they're trying to do. Yeah. You want to win every game, you want to go to the World Series, but there's a process to everything.
I walk in this morning at 8 o'clock, and look, Ken Babby's on with Pat and Aaron at 8 o'clock.
Dude,
that guy's going to have
beast.
He is a beast. Yep. And I think that one of the things I'm looking most forward to, Orestes, is the fact that he is that baseball guy. And I don't want to put the previous thing down, but they didn't do a whole lot with, getting the fans out. And like Joe already pointed out, the Rays today announced, be in your seats by 3:30. We got something special. What's Ken Babby going to mean to St. Petersburg, Tampa Bay, and everything with our Rays now moving forward?
Well, one of the things that I appreciate from his enthusiasm, and I went to the first public forum that he had at Hillsborough College. I keep on saying HCC, but it's technically HC now, right? I grew up playing, as a young kid, coming to college here and playing for a junior college, Florida Junior College. So we used to play against HCC. So it's been etched in my mind. But at Hillsborough College, and I went to that first public forum, and not only was it informational, but it was inspirational.
Yes.
So he's kind of has a lot of excitement that he's bringing. Granted, the proof is in the pudding. Be able to produce, to do things. But so far, so good. And the other thing that I'll tell you is that baseball, and we're all baseball guys here, probably, and I'm biased, but probably more than any other sport, has a more community-minded aspect to it. Why? Because, you even on the weekends, you play softball with your family and friends, you throw the ball around. It's a much easier sport to just get in tune with it. Spring training, you're so close to the fandom. So close to the players. There's just this thing that if you can create a greater fan experience, which he's trying to do, steal a little bit from the minor leagues, mind you. Nothing wrong with that.
Yes, sir.
And then he comes from, two storied minor league teams, obviously in Akron, Ohio, and then the very successful Jacksonville team to the AAA for the upstart
the Jumbo.
Marlins.
I already talked to you.
Yeah.
You were my guy with the Marlins going down and watching you play.
They won last year. They won it all.
Brother, I love it. And let me go ahead
and look at what the Marlins are doing now. So minor leagues, matters.
Yeah, well, you touched on something there. I've learned so much, and you know this because you've played ball your entire life. That communal spirit, that feeling used to be. Well, people used to complain about the time between innings or between pitches or the seventh inning stretch, but it turns out, when you're building that communal experience, that the downtime is when you're communicating with the other people in the stadium.
That's the beauty of baseball.
That's the beauty.
Yeah, and minor league does it really well. I think the major leagues are trying to, they tried to speed up the game, right, which was needed, right? It was the Major League Baseball game was getting too long and tedious. But B, you can still do a lot of interesting things. And what are those interesting things? Yeah, fan experience, fan excitement in between innings. Cheaper tickets, $10 tickets, $49, all you can eat, parking. And then here's the third or fourth level that was not done with the prior ownership.
Yes.
Get the players out in the community every now and then. Get them to visit here and there. It's not that hard. More times than not, you'd be surprised that players are willing to do it on an off day and just pop in. You don't want to, abuse them, but mix and match them. And I remember there was plenty of times that I was trying to get a Willie Adames out to West Tampa, and I was thwarted. And West Tampa was jonesing to have a Latin guy that speaks their language to come out and say hello to these Latin, Cuban Americans or Puerto Rican American kids. Didn't happen. that often, if at all. So I think he's looking at that, and then you can really excite the people and build a brand.
Bigo, can I ask you a quick
Go ahead,
question?
Michael.
Okay. You were with the Marlins in '93.
Correct.
How is the community building at that? I mean, obviously with your heritage and everything in Miami, was that something that you've learned from that, or is that something that was there missed opportunities in Miami? If you could compare Miami to Tampa Bay in regards to community building, what are you seeing different?
It's a great question, and I'm gonna answer it in a kind of different couple of ways. Number one, '93 was its own encapsulating thing, and we experienced it here in '98. When you bring in a new team like that, everybody and their mother wants to come and be a part of it.
Right.
You know, every sponsor, every company wants to tag to it. So it was no problem, you know, finding fandom, finding sponsors. They just wanted to tag on to Major League Baseball. It was similar like that in '98. I was just recently retired in '98 and joined the Rays in a front office, and Mr. Vince Damoli brought me on in doing things with the community, right? And I was executive director of player community relations. That being said, over the years it kind of waned, and the Marlins struggled and did not do a good job getting out there properly. It's been lifted up quite a bit recently, and I've been dealing with them quite a bit in the last couple of years. In fact, I'm going to be out there throwing out a first pitch coming up in a few weeks. I'm probably on March 3rd, and March 3rd,
Yeah.
May 3rd, excuse me. And so what they're doing this year is they brought back on Sunday home games the old school teal.
Nice.
And in
That was
fact,
my first love.
that was right.
Because that teal,
Right, that
number one,
teal.
it was Miami. That's Florida.
Yeah.
But that was it.
So they're doing stuff like that. Obviously, now you've got this new, you know, vibrant ownership group that's aggressive. They're going to be already doing things, going to be creating, you know, trying to bring back the Tampa Bay for future seasons.
sir.
They all matter, man. So I thought early on both the Devil Rays and the Marlins did okay and did good, but it was like low-hanging fruit when you're a brand new major league franchise.
Yes. Right.
You got to reach up high into the top of the trees when a decade has gone by, and you got to do some more creative stuff.
Sneaking in a station break, you're listening to Opening Day at Ferg's Sports Bar and Grill on Central Avenue, right across the street from Tropicana Field. You're hearing it on the Tampa St. Pete Sports Connection Radio Network, as well as WLMX-LP St. Petersburg, Radio St. Pete.
But of course, we're speaking with Orestes Estrada, who happens to be the host of the Big O Show. Which, if you're not catching the Big O Show on Thursdays,
please let me.
it's on Thursdays now, right? Are we talking? Give us the time
I'm
and
doing
date for
mostly
this.
Tuesdays and Fridays.
Okay.
Right around 12:30, 1 o'clock. Obviously, we have the kind of the leeway with streaming. You know, obviously co-hosting with the great JP Peterson.
Yes.
On FanStream Sports. So if you get a chance, just go on FanStream Sports channel on YouTube or wherever you catch your podcast. And having a lot of fun with that. I'm in semi-retirement mode in my life. I'm very fortunate that, you know, I had a few years in the big leagues, and I hit that age where I can even tap into my pension. And my God, MLB does a good job. The CBA needs to be continued and better, and because they didn't take care of us old folks and give us those fat checks for playing in the big leagues. But I can't say enough about that. And then again, like I mentioned, doing stuff with Mike Murphy and the Murphy Auto Group at Genesis of Tampa.
Oh, yes.
Miracle Toyota. But the FanStream Sports has been a lot of fun. And I'm still an ambassador and connected with the Seibu Lions in Japan. In fact, one of my guys, Tetsuya Imai, just threw for the first time just the other day for the Houston Astros. Very excited about Tetsuya having a fine major league career.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this, Big O. So, you probably don't remember me, but I was a bat boy on the visiting side from 2012.
Okay.
You stole baseballs from me, like
He's
when you were
wondering-
going.
You know that I go in and I go, I need a couple
you
balls.
took them
I
and
need
you
a couple
didn't even
balls.
ask
Well, I
sometimes.
I don't ask. No,
But you always
I
said
rarely
thank
ask.
If I caught you, you said thank you.
Dude,
so
that's
I do.
awesome.
Well, I wanted to go ahead and tell our radio listeners that yes, Orestes has a ball in his hand.
Yeah.
If you
It's
lock
actually
it
signed by
down-
Boba Shed. I need
This
to
is
get that
Boba
to
Shed.
somebody.
He's a back, but he wanted you to
Yeah.
have one. But hey, you said semi-retired. You better be careful, Cat, because you're bringing it so hot and heavy. You may coming out of retirement. We need us some more Orestes.
I appreciate it. I spent 24 and part of 25 Hey, there he is.
Oh, we got Coach.
The one and only.
Yeah, there he is. Mark
Coming in
Ferguson.
live, hot and heavy.
He's
The
a busy
man
guy.
of the hour, the man with the
Mark
plan.
Ferguson.
Best sports bar in America.
Voted on USA Today.
As voted
Best
on
sports
USA
bar in America.
Today.
Marky Mark.
Mark Ferguson,
Dude,
everybody.
It's been a minute since
How we doing?
It's been a minute since I seen you and the family. Listen, I walked up here. I parked right down the street, and I literally am walking down, and I almost got emotional, seeing all the fans and seeing all the people. And one of the thoughts that I had was meeting you back in 1998, which dates us. But you starting this whole thing, and what you have meant to this community. And I started coming on with them, and what did I say? That this game today is not even about baseball. It's about the community and bringing back baseball to this great area. And you're a massive part of that.
Yeah.
Well, it's a big day for Tampa Bay community, for all the Rays fans. It's so good to see the Trop being able to walk in and get some air conditioning and enjoy a ball game with no chance of rainouts.
Exactly.
Great
Yeah, the air conditioning
feeling.
wasn't because the roof was off. The air conditioning because the air conditioning was working.
That's right. That's right. No,
Yes,
we're
we
real
got
excited about
clouds.
today. All our employees are so happy, and we want to invite everybody to come on down and let's have a good time. And then there's the national championship after the Rays beat the Cubs.
So stick around,
Let's go
Bird,
Blues.
and watch that. Ever the promoter. Hey, stick around and have some wings and burgers and some beers while, what is it?
Always be selling.
UConn, what is it? UConn playing, who are they playing?
Michigan.
Michigan.
So
Yeah.
Michigan's going to win. You don't even know.
No.
Michigan get.
Yeah, I guess so, maybe. UConn beat Duke, and I'm already upset because boozers from my high school, from Christopher Columbus High School. So
Wow.
I don't think we mentioned earlier that the Trop hosted the Final Four,
That's
the national
right.
championship. Yeah, UConn Duke in '98, I think, as well, on our list of memories.
UConn,
he didn't
UConn won it.
He didn't
UConn-
forget because he
UConn beat Duke.
made a heck of a lot of money that day with that whole thing.
UConn beat Duke that night, and I was so happy because UConn fans were all here because they couldn't get tickets. All the Duke fans were in the stadium. So when they won, if they would have lost, they would have burnt the place down. So I'm so glad.
So, Ferg, let me ask you this. Obviously, we see you right now. You're working. You have a bar rag right around your shoulder. You're still working right now, but you took time for us on the Tampa St. Pete Sports Connection, which we really appreciate. But tell us what it means that the Rays are back in St. Pete right now. What it means for your business, but the community as well, because I know you're passionate about St. Pete.
Well, we are a major league city because of the Tampa Bay Rays. And we owe a lot to them, and we're going to sell tickets for them. We're going to support them, and hopefully they're here for a long, long time. But it means so much to my employees. Last summer it was slow, it was boring, not enough money coming in. Now they'll be able to go out and buy some extra stuff for their families, and that's what we're all about.
Yeah. And you have a ton of employees here.
We have a ton of employees today. And
Every time I come here, there's a whole nother bar section added.
Isn't it seem that way? I don't know where he pulls it from, but he creates another section. It's like
You got to go 3 blocks down, and then you'll hit that bar.
no, it's like he's always very creative. Him and his son, obviously, who's come on and taking a big
by the
role.
way, my son's wife, Tiffany, is in Japan right now.
No way.
Yep.
Why?
She's in Japan. She went with a girlfriend just
To
they
visit.
wanted to do it, to visit. They went to Tokyo. Now they're somewhere else.
And they didn't call me
And they
to
didn't
get
call-
hooked up for Tokyo Giants tickets.
I can't believe it.
Yeah, well,
Let's go
listen,
back.
they're on my bad list right now because I tell them all the things to do and enjoy Tokyo. I have so many friends that visit, and they're the 2 weeks before they're leaving. Where do I need to go? What do I need to do? And if you haven't done it, it should be on everybody's bucket list is to visit Tokyo.
All right, I got to get back to work. Thank
Yeah.
you all
What?
for being here.
Coach
Get
Mark
back
Ferguson.
to work.
Get back to work.
I love
There
it,
you go, love
Fergie.
Thank
The,
you.
You're the
best,
best.
sports bar in the
They got,
country,
Wow.
as voted on by USA Today.
And
First
that's
sports
saying
bar
a
girl.
lot because
That's saying a lot.
we're playing the Cubs,
Oof.
and they're known for their bars.
I've actually seen more Rays jerseys walking around
yeah,
than I
yeah,
have
if you
Cubs.
No, but they're
by the
known
way.
for their,
Oh, yeah.
all their sports bar along, Wrigleyville over there.
So, back to our conflict.
What?
You got my Bo Bichette baseball that I found this
you want
morning.
me to tell you a quick Bo Bichette story?
Please do.
Well, Bo Bichette is interesting. It's actually a Dante Bichette story.
Love
So
Dante.
I played I played winter ball in Dominican Republic several years, and I played 1 year with Dante Bichette, and in La Romana. Just came back from La Romana. I'm going to plug something before I do that, and that is Brook Knows Ball, the channel, phenomenal. They're baseball content creators. They're the darlings of baseball last year and are building up. And we went and did a documentary on Winter League and Dominican Republic and the kids and the academies. But it brought me back to an old story of when Dante and I first met. He was with the Angels, I was with the Yankees, and we played on the same team with La Romana, the Azucareros. Now they're called the Toros. But we lived in these villas. It was smack daddy. It was so awesome to play winter ball. We're young, we're in our early 20s, and we would do 2 to a villa. And me and Hensley Bam Bam Mullins was my roommate. He had a roommate, I can't remember who it was, might have been Chuck Finley, another phenomenal pitcher from the Angels. So it was mostly made up of Angels and Yankees. And he was in this villa. So we always used to go to this little place, little mini Ferg's type of a place close to the stadium, and have ourselves a steak or a burger or a chicken sandwich. And they always playing Latin music. This is Dominican Republic. And people were just dancing on the streets there. And one day I go there after a game. I leave to call my wife, who was pregnant at the time. So I wanted to check in and leave Dante there. And Dante comes back a few hours later, and all of a sudden I'm on the phone with my wife. I look out the window, and a guy is walking across our lawn leading to the villas with a machete in his hand. And I go, Brenda, I gotta go. There's something weird. This guy is walking, this Dominican big guy is walking across with a machete in his hand, and he's heading towards one of the villas. So I run out there, and he's heading towards Dante's villa, and he goes, ¿A dónde está Bichette? ¿A dónde está Bichette? Where is Bichette? And I always thought it was funny that he was looking for Bichette with a machete.
Wait, what did Dante do?
Well, Dante comes out. This is like 12 o'clock at night. We had played a day game. Dante comes out, and he's like, Big O, what's going on? I get in between him and Dante with this guy waving a machete. And I go, oye, lo que pasa, caballo? What's going on? You know, Dante Bichette, man, he danced with my girlfriend on the street. What had happened was that Dante was just sitting there, and the girl was dancing there. He got up off his seat, and he just did a little shimmy, dance. No big deal.
No disrespect.
No disrespect. Didn't touch her or anything. Got back on his seat. The dude, somebody told them, hey, one of the American players, because they kind of had a little trouble sometimes with the American players who come play winter ball with her and quote unquote steal their women. So Dante was not doing that.
But chicks dig the dog ball.
Yeah, well,
you gotta get it right.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
He hit more than a few.
And he was like, dude, I just got up and danced with her. And I'm explaining to the guy. So then I twisted it, and I'm like, mira, tipo. These gringo Americans, they get a little drunk. I'm telling all this in Spanish. They don't know what it was a complete mistake. He was not macking on your girl. Blah, blah, blah. And he's slowly putting the machete down. And I'm going, you don't listen, I want to see him again in there. I go, don't even worry about it. Hey, estamos bien, we're fine. Man, and the guy's like, okay. And he turns around, walks away. Dante looks at me. He's like, ghost white.
Gracias.
He's like, yeah. He told me thank you in 8 different languages, and of which he only knew 1. And he goes, so to this day, Dante always messes with me. He goes, bro, every time I see it, you saved my life, bro. You saved my life. You saved my life.
You got to send him a picture of you holding
So interestingly, he has Dante Sr., and then I meet Bo. I met Bo when he was a high schooler here at Lakewood.
Right.
But then at the major league, when he gets called up, I see him on the field. He comes up, gives me a hug. I go, I'm just remembered. You wouldn't be here if it wasn't because of me. So I need to get a cut of your anything you make. And I need to call him now that he's with the Mets.
Oh.
And then I always joke and say, maybe he named him Bo for Big O.
Oh! Breaking news on the Tampa St. Pete Sports Connection.
So it's funny you give me a Bo Bichette.
I love it.
But yeah, but no, so The thing with the ball, by the way, is just years ago, I was with ESPN, never used the ball, came here, did a promo for and this ties into my mom, who just passed away in February.
Sorry to hear that.
Yeah. Did a promo for Rays Live. Hey, make sure you watch the game, Rays Live, blah, blah, blah. And I happened to have the ball in my hand, and I was on the field, and I thought it was cool, and I just started doing it,
Yes.
This was in 2000, I want to say 11, I
Yeah.
did that. And it just carried over, and people were like, that's kind of weird. And so then it became a thing that after every show, that's why I came to get balls all the
Yeah.
time.
No, you
after
steal
every
them like
show,
on your way.
Yeah, but after every show, I would sign that ball and put play hard, study harder. So that was in honor of my mom, who was a teacher for 45 years. And I always wanted to push education. So I only gave them to kids. And I would walk through this incredible lady of our stadium, the Tropicana, and I would give away the balls throughout the game. So that was kind of the honor of my mom, and she just passed away at 92 recently. But play hard, study harder came back to me many years later, as many times that I've had, moms come up to me here at Ferds or at the Trop and say, you gave my son a ball. And it says play hard. And he really, studied hard. So.
And you've now closed the loop with former Rays bat boy here.
Yeah.
I mean,
what a full circle right
I
here.
know. How about that? How about that?
Well, like I said, I was one of the first people to get a Big O autograph in '93.
Did you?
I was at spring training in the Marlins in Vieira.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, so I might have you beat, but not as cool of a story.
Right.
You got me beat. Don't worry about it. You got me
No,
beat.
that one's kind of cool, too, to go back to 93. I just had Paul Kennedy send me a picture of a spring training game where I was signing balls for kids before a game. And
I might have had you on. I was telling him the story. My mom worked at an Olive Garden there in Melbourne.
No way.
And
Close to Vieira?
Close to Vieira. And you might have been on there. I know Benny Santiago was on there.
Benito Santiago. I used to call him, I called him Bonito San Diego.
And when word got around the Olive Garden that you guys were all at this table,
Right.
my mom came out with a menu, and she gave it to me that night. She's like,
Oh,
you
we
will
signed the
not
menu?
believe
I
who
would
was
not
at
be
the Olive Garden."
surprised, yeah.
And I was like, this is the awesomest
The
thing ever.
history of Marlin baseball.
If not for Benito Santiago, this gentleman right here might have the first home run in Marlins history.
Remember
That's
that?
all I'm going to say.
Dude, clutch. I'd be in the Hall of Fame.
You missed it by a couple of
Because
feet.
if you hit a home
Oh,
run
yeah.
with the first year, and
could've
I missed it by like barely a foot, hit off the wall. Benito came in, hit a home run.
You
and
missed
that's
it. You and John
Oh.
Lynch, you and John Lynch would have both been in there
Oh my God!
for the
Johnny
Marlins,
Lynch,
right?
Johnny
From the first
Lynch.
pitch.
Yeah.
I got to ask you a question. Coming off the WBC, but just you mentioned the clock. ABS, we could talk. Well, tune into the Big O show. We'll get some of that.
No, it's all good.
But everything that's happening with baseball, Orestes, is this just my imagination, or is baseball prepared to take over? At 3-5 years out, baseball is the best sport in America. Am I wrong on this? I'm starting to see it.
No, it's. I think the WBC has been such a success. Obviously, had the hiccup with COVID that slowed it down, and you had a time that it didn't come back on until 2023, right? After 17. But it's such a global success now. Obviously, Japan, Korea, they have been there. They're only growing. But now you're seeing it in other countries like Australia, obviously Italy, the Netherlands, not just in Curacao and Aruba. They're actually playing it in the Netherlands. So the game of baseball is definitely growing. And then to add to that, I was noticing this year how many great talented players under 25 there are.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, massive amount of greatness that we're seeing, from the Paul Skeens to the Bobby Witts to the Junior Camaneros. I mean, the list is really strong of 25 and under that are the future for the next decade, that kids, boys and girls and even adults are going to, lean into. And because of the advent of our phones and social media, they're becoming much more brand, friendly and noticeable. Nothing against football; it's still America, the leader right now. But really, baseball is starting to come back to us.
Curious, a question from an old timer. The thought of playing competitive baseball early in spring training, would that have been a concern to you if the WBC had been around when you were active?
No, I mean, there's no other time to do the WBC. You can't do it in November. It doesn't make any sense. The players are too, wound down, and football just overwhelms it. So it wouldn't have the impact. The closest you could do, and I'm possibly in agreement that they consider, and maybe not this very next one, maybe, I don't know, is to do the first couple of pools rounds first, and then do away once every 4 years of the All-Star game, and just do like a hockey thing, And I'm for that because players will be fine, they'll be juiced up, they're in optimal, and you got 4 teams, 4 countries that are representing, and everybody else gets a little bit of a break. The seasons are so long. The tricky part with the WBC in March is that you have to get amped up quick.
Yeah.
And circling it all the way back to the Rays, maybe, a guy like Griffin Jacks, maybe has affected him, how he kind of amped up and then the season starts, and maybe a guy like Clevenger with the calf injury now, you started to, you're out of your normal ramp up scenario. I don't know. Maybe even a Junior Caminero, because it was so hyped up to play for Team Dominican Republic. And then you come back, not to say that he's not a worker, because he is. You're going to have certain give and take ramifications. Hockey went through it. They were off for 20 games, 20 days?
Yeah.
Of course, several teams, including the Bolts, had a little time to get back into it. So there's a give and take to something that special like Olympics, World Cup, World Classic.
Radio St. Pete is live at Ferg Sports Bar and Grill. We're speaking with Orestes Destrana, talking baseball until almost the first pitch this afternoon across the street at Tropicana Field.
I just want to go ahead and just let you know, everyone, we're starting to pack in over here.
Yeah,
we
man.
are seeing Cubs.
No, you guys weren't around the corner.
Is
You
it
guys
crazy?
been here already since what?
I've been here since
10
8.
Yeah, no.
It's getting crazy.
Yeah, bro. That was what got me. I parked,
Really?
right in front of Ferg's. I found a quick spot. Boom, put my truck in there. I go, ooh, hey.
You got lucky.
Hey.
You got lucky.
I'm good. I got a couple hours. And, and I started walking in. I'm going, oh, my God. They're starting early today.
You ain't been in back yet today either, brother.
Huh?
You ain't been in back yet today either.
No,
Wait till you
I bet
see.
it's got to
Look
be
at you.
crazy.
It
I'm
is.
going to take a stroll.
It is packing
But
up
I
here.
do want to ask you.
Yeah, I'm going to leave. I'm going to leave early. I'm actually not going to the Trop today. I'm going to go watch it with some friends.
Yes.
But I'm going to leave a little early today and get away from this crazy traffic, because there's gonna be some people that might need to call some Ubers. That's all I'm saying.
It's a good day for Uber drivers.
If you're an Uber driver, come on down, because there's going to be some people going, I love the Cubs, but
Let's go.
Uber code
by
arrest.
4:30.
I told my
Forget
wife.
about like the ninth inning. These guys need a closer in the first inning.
That reminds me, we go to the Daytona 500 and everyone starts getting hammered.
Right?
The race is
I've never
starting.
been to one, but it's got to be, right?
Yeah,
we're
but
going
How
next
many
year.
people?
Well, so much on the infield.
200,000.
Oh, my God.
But you got the guys who start drinking heavy at 8 a.m. before the 1 o'clock race. They're passed out on the ground. And you're like, you're missing the race.
But if you're passed out on the infield there and the infield grass for
Yeah.
a racetrack, like that's a story in and of itself.
Right.
Oh, yeah. I mean, yeah. But I got to ask you, Orestes, you already alluded to it. You said Junior Caminero.
Yeah.
He had 3 errors day one.
Right.
He's had a fourth sense. We think that's an anomaly. It's not the regular. But anything else about this race team? We're back in our pitcher-friendly park.
Right.
So does the bullpen get some alleviation there? And is our defense going to kind of come back? And you got Taylor Walls now back off the IR. So
Yes, we
how's
just found
gonna
that out.
play?
Right.
So
The biggest surprise really hasn't been the egregious 12 errors, of which Junior has 6. So if you take those 6 away, the team is sitting, and not
middle of the pack.
middle of the
low,
pack,
yeah,
middle of the
lower.
pack. But he does have them, and they have been costly because they haven't just been. There've been errors that cost runs. But the biggest surprise has been the bullpen, floundering.
Coming apart, right?
Yeah, floundering. So when I think coming into the season, I felt like their biggest strength could be the bullpen. I think the key guys are going to be one that just got called up in Biggie. Biggie's a power
Right.
arm, because really, when you think about it, you don't have that many power arms other than Jacks
Right.
in that bullpen. They're more pitch to contact guys. So you need every bullpen. Listen, you do not make the playoffs in baseball now in the last decade without having an above average to great bullpen. You don't make the playoffs.
Right.
I don't care how much you hit.
Right.
You just don't, because pitchers are going an average of 5 1/3. So you have to have a quality bullpen. Can they have that? Yes. Biggie, I think, is going to be a big push for that. The master is going to be getting Edwin Uceda back.
Oh.
And if Edwin Uceda comes back in the next couple of weeks and he's what he's supposed to be,
Right.
he's the equalizer.
Yeah.
He is the equalizer. I really like what Baker's doing. Griffin Jacks will level off. Okay, yeah. There's a question about his ERA and high leverage versus low leverage. Okay, he's got too good of stuff. He's gonna level off. Is he your hammer closer? I don't think so, but he's really good. Clevenger needs to come back. And again, you look at those two guys. Where were they rushed to? The WBC. And they had to be all, right and stuff. So maybe it's affected them a little bit. They're going to level off.
Right.
But I think the keys are going to be Biggie. I think the key's going to be Uceda. And then being able to really kind of do that and have two power arms.
Yes.
Along with the Kevin Kellys that change you up, the Ian Seymours that sink and slide you from the left side. You got to have a little bit of everything.
I'm going to ask you this. Put your ownership hat on. If you were a Major League Baseball owner, or if you were the commissioner right now, and you didn't have the success they had, the unquestionable success that the WBC was this year, and Skeens gets lit up for 5 runs in the first inning on opening day, would we be having the same conversation as to how we're going to make it work with Major League players, or would they be trying to go back and say, we're not going to let those guys play, we're going to stay with the international players? So
yeah, that was
that's
that's a great example of
Right?
where a guy probably amped up too quick and just wasn't, ready. He's too good to pitch like that.
Well, the reason why I like it, though, is that this is the narrative I try to teach people that don't know baseball.
Right.
You ain't going to always have the best day.
You're not going
Sometimes
to always have the best day.
sometimes
He's going to
it's-
be fine. That's the
Right.
give and take of the WBC, but they're going to continue to tinker it a little bit. But I love it. I think, again,
So good.
being Hispanic and knowing the Dominican team so well, the Japanese teams, Venezuela, I'll stay non-committal to my home country of Cuba because no joke, it's because of the political climate of it. One day when they're free, I'll be go Team Cuba, but I can't be right now. But that's just how I feel.
Yes, sir.
But I think it's a wonderful exercise. Getting back to the Rays, I think the most frustrating thing right now, I'm gonna be candid,